Welcome to CEO Connect, presented by CU Solutions Group. On this month's episode, some thoughts on personal leadership.
Soon the holidays will have come and gone, and we will be left with a new year full of resolutions and fresh goals to achieve. As leaders, regardless of position or number of employees, we should ask ourselves the question, how can I live better and lead more effectively in the new year? So I'm a big fan of author Stephen Covey's concepts of personal leadership and the 7 habits of highly effective people. When I first heard him speak, I was struck by the power and simplicity of his words and how they rang true, especially with leaders who felt inadequate both in their personal and professional lives. The appeal of his message was in the wisdom of principle-based leadership that seemed to resonate with just about everyone. I love the way that Covey's 7 habits were separated into 2 sections. 3 habits for individual sort of get yourself together habits, and 3 for interpersonal behavior or team habits, and then a 7th habit dealing with the habit of sharpening the saw or self-improvement. Now, this book has sold 25 million copies in 40 languages worldwide and remains one of the best-selling nonfiction business books in U.S. history. Former President Bill Clinton invited Covey to Camp David to counsel him on how to integrate the book into his presidency. That's just one example. Of course, the 7 habits in the Covey framework are all so much easier said than done. At the Michigan Credit Union League and CU Solutions Group, we give all of our new employees the 7 Habits book as a sort of personal leadership and personal happiness Bible to refer to. And we structure mid-year and year-end recognitions around those concepts. So I'm very proud and honored at the holiday season that we give our employees a $100 pay-it-forward gift card. And it's amazing to see how they take a small gesture and multiply it to make an impact on so many lives. As an example, this year, 6 of our staff took their gift cards and along with a special Christmas card, delivered them on a chilly Sunday evening to the home of a 3-year-old little girl, Lily Bowen, a girl diagnosed with a brain cancer called neuroblastoma. The family, after a well-child visit, received the devastating cancer diagnosis that gives her something like a 50% chance of survival and requires a 5-day chemo treatment every 21 days. Our caring staff paid forward their holiday gift cards and surely made an impact that night by showing love and support to Lily and her family. During this same weekend, our credit union community heard of the sad and untimely passing of Adam Kearns, Vice President of Business Development with the Ohio Credit Union League. Adam was an incredible young man with a big heart and passion for doing good. He left behind a loving wife, Katie, and 2 adorable young children. His death just 1 week before Christmas reminds us all of the importance of holding our loved ones close and the need to make an impact every day of our lives. These are just 2 stark reminders of how we should all have a sense of urgency for doing good and showing love and compassion within our sphere of influence. Covey taught that people want to find happiness and betterment in the way that they live, love, learn, and leave a legacy. What a great framework for understanding what drives our happiness and success. And as a new year approaches, for me as a leader, I find myself introspective about how I need to improve in these areas and strengthen my 7 habits. A few weeks ago, I was so moved by the eulogies given at the funeral service for President H.W. Bush. Watching his son, former President George W. Bush, well up with emotion as he honored his dad with the spoken word was so moving and poignant as 4 other current and former presidents listened on the front row. President Bush referenced his father's inaugural address and challenged all of us to lead in kinder, gentler ways, espoused by these words, and I quote, this is from George H.W. Bush's inaugural address. He said, "My friends, we are not the sum of our possessions. They are not the measure of our lives. In our hearts, we know what matters. We cannot hope only to leave our children a bigger car, a bigger bank account. We must hope to give them a sense of what it means to be a loyal friend, a loving parent, a citizen who leaves his home, his neighborhood, and town better than he found it. And what do we want the men and women who work with us to say when we're no longer there? That we were more driven to succeed than anyone around us? Or that we stopped to ask if a sick child had gotten better and stayed a moment there to trade a word of friendship? I believe that managing our perspective every day is the secret to happiness and leadership success. There will always be reasons to be hard on ourselves or to feel inadequate, and we will always be flawed. But finding joy in life despite our shortcomings and negative experiences comes from altering our perspective to a more positive, humble, and service-oriented tone, just as President Bush so eloquently encouraged. This great credit union movement gives leaders at all levels the opportunity to make an impact on people's lives by working together with the people helping people philosophy that is the hallmark of our industry. So my 4 big New Year's resolutions for how I live, love, learn, and leave a legacy are these. First, live better. I want to live with a greater sense of urgency for making a difference in the lives of my family, friends, work colleagues, and even the occasional stranger whose life I can impact. Second, love better. I need to repair damaged family relationships by being the one to reach out. I also don't want to take for granted my family and loved ones. I can show them and express to them my love in words and actions. And I can love my colleagues and staff by listening and leading with greater compassion and respect. Third, I want to learn better. I need to be entertained more by reading and watching nonfiction versus fiction. I need to be more open to learning from my partner, my family, my employees and colleagues, and exercising the humility to realize that I'm not supposed to be the one with all the answers. Listening and learning from those closest to me will make me a better person and a better leader. And fourth, I want to leave the right kind of legacy. I want to double down on doing the right thing rather than the politically expedient thing in my work and with my family. In my work life, principle-based leadership, better listening, improved collaboration, and belief in the team will be my focus. In my personal life, I want to treat my partner and children more like friends and never as projects. Seeking first to understand, then to be understood is the habit I most need to foster and improve. So as leaders, we always need to remember that there is a long line of people who could do our jobs as well as or better than we do them. Leadership is a stewardship and a privilege that we should never take for granted. Good luck with your important New Year's resolutions for improving the way that you live, love, learn, and leave a legacy. I'm looking forward to working toward mine. Happy holidays and Happy New Year.